What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Now, the big news, which I'm not going to harp on, you may already know, CPI data came out this morning. We had a wild morning in the markets. In fact, you could see this is the 5-minute candles, crazy madness this morning. Basically, in a nutshell, they were expecting 6.2%. It only came down from 6.5 to 6.4. So yes, it is cooling, but at an incredibly snail-paced rate, and therefore it was considered negative, right? So you can see right here, federal funds rate going crazy, inflation rate not falling as fast as we would like. So that's basically that news, right? There's a lot of other things we need to talk about, though. For example, we did in fact have confirmation right here, you could see on that weekly death cross. So it happened. That's it. We have the death cross right here. First ever death cross in Bitcoin's history. Now, what we need to see is, does it really truly mean that we're going to see these crazy lower prices, 70% crash from this level? Or is it one of those everyone's expecting it, so it won't actually happen events? There are so many things that we need to talk about. You know, having a look right here, like I said, you know, a lot of people, actually, if you want to see something crazy, so this right here, this 5-minute candle, see this wick that came all the way down here, all the way back up? This was literally on the dot when the data came out. Look at this. Price started falling. Oh my goodness, it's negative news. And then it pumps, right? And now we're just going sideways. So everyone's getting all chopped up in these price moves. But what I want to talk about is what's been going on with the SEC lately. Oh, and by the way, look at that volume candle, right? Lots of trading that came in. But anyway, I want to talk about the SEC and I want to talk about the crackdown because, guys, if you just look between the lines, read between the lines here, there is something very, very fishy going on in the background. And I'm calling a little bit of BS on the situation, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. If you actually look at what is happening, what they're doing, but then what's going on in the background, you can clearly see that there is something going on. There are crazy details that have recently come to light, and this is not a conspiracy or anything like that. It's just actual facts that you can't seem to ignore. And having a look at everything right now, I believe that there is going to be this be-all, end-all solution. And a lot of people are saying, well, you got to get out of the U.S., you got to go to another country. I don't believe that that's the case if you're in the US right now. I believe that this is a typical example of FUD high, buy low. And if you've been watching the channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you guys want to know a solution to this moving forward, I do have one potentially in today's video. Stick around, watch to the end. If you're worried about what should I do, where can I trade, how can I even navigate this space as a US person in crypto or someone in a different jurisdiction? Obviously, I'm just a guy on the internet. Stick around, guys. We have crazy stuff to talk about today. Seriously, I promise you won't be let down. Also, side note, it is Valentine's Day. If you guys are interested, Ledger is doing a cute little bird, turtle dove type 10% off. If you guys want, there's a link below. If you're into that, if not, get subscribed. We're going to dive in and have a look at the chart. So look at this, guys. Perfect double bottom, as we were talking about. Obviously, I was not suggesting to trade over the weekend, but oddly enough, if you did, look at this. Perfect, right? We came down here, perfectly tested this trend. We came back up. We got rejected at the heart line, came back down again, double bottom. And look at this, guys. We are back above. And look at how perfect these parallel channels work, right? We had this one here, and now look, we have this one on the downside. And yes, this does put a short-term potential target of Bitcoin going up to about $22,485 before then potentially having that pullback, right? We are still in this major range between 21.4 and 22.7. And you can see right here, we still do have the CME futures gap, which unfortunately, my friends, I still do believe we are eventually going to come down and close this gap, okay? At some point. I don't know when. We've started the downtrend, so there's a good chance that we could be doing it right now. But it doesn't mean that we can't still have that bounce, back up to this resistance before coming back down. Remember, markets do not move in straight lines, right? And we are still anticipating that we need to have some kind of a retest, at least down to this blue zone, so that we can get that confirmation on this falling wedge pattern, which we do know actually, and this is pretty nuts, puts the ultimate target for this move for Bitcoin at around $56,000 to $57,000 roughly. That does not mean today. That does not mean tomorrow. It just means that once we finally have this move executed to its fullest, which could literally take months to happen, but it is saying at some point we should probably be seeing a $57,000 Bitcoin. But in the short term, we do have the death cross occurring. We also have the downward sloping trend. We also have the horizontal resistance. But at the same time, we have now started to build some base. So I have these green lines right here. And as I was saying, a potential worst pain scenario that could happen is this right here. We just continue to consolidate in this, forming this sort of apex right here until we reach the apex, which would in fact happen right around July of this year. So would you be able to have Bitcoin basically go sideways until we reach that apex, which actually insanely just completely introduces me to what I was going to talk about, which is essentially the Apex Pro trading platform. Now, a lot of people have been really, really worried lately about where they can trade. This to me, so far, out of all of the ones that I've seen, and I'm not sponsored by them. You don't have to watch this part of the video if you don't want, but if you are looking for a decentralized opportunity, and obviously I'm not connected right now for my privacy, I do have my wallet offline. I tried this exchange. It is phenomenal. I'm just saying, like I said, I'm not a spokesperson for them, but if you are familiar with basically using Bybit, if you've ever used Bybit before, this is literally the exact same thing. But it's literally on chain. So if you're worried about the FTX or you're worried about whatever KYC, you don't have to actually put your funds on any of these exchanges. They stay in your actual wallet and everything is done on chain with contracts. So it's pretty incredible, guys. Apex Pro, you guys should, I'm not financial advice telling you what to do, but check it out. They have a lot of they have the Apex coin, they have the Bana coin. You can actually stake it and you can trade to earn, and it's up to 20x leverage. And basically in a nutshell, like I said, if you can trade on Bybit, you can trade on Apex, and you don't have to deposit your funds on an exchange. You don't have to give up your private key to anybody. You keep your funds in your wallet, and it's multiple chains. So if you guys are interested in Apex Pro and you don't want to deal with centralized exchanges, or you're in a jurisdiction that's making it difficult for you, like, not going to name places, not going to tell you what to do, but check it out below. Obviously, there are going to be geo-fences, whatever. You guys know how to deal with that. I'm not going to tell you what to do, how to get around it. I'm not going to say to do that, but check it out, guys. There is a link below in the description. You don't have to use my link. It obviously does help the channel, but there are some bonuses and rewards that are offered if you want to use that link. I'm not going to go into it today, but I'm probably going to make a tutorial. But realistically, if you literally watch my Bybit tutorial, like just go watch my Bybit tutorial, it's the same exact thing, because Bybit is actually behind the interface of this. So not trying to sell it, not sponsored. I don't care if you use the link below. You will get rewards. It helps me. But guys, I'm telling you, this is one to keep an eye on. Beautiful, beautiful interface. Really, really smooth execution. High liquidity, decentralized, no KYC. Do your own research on this one, guys, but I think this could be big. So, and they have their own coin. Not saying you should invest in it at all, but I don't know, market cap's pretty low on the coin. So check it out, guys. Again, I think maybe I'll make a tutorial on it, but like I said, if you just want to check the Bybit tutorial, it's the exact same thing. So in a nutshell, as you guys can see right here, S&P 500, having a bit of a Darth Maul wick on today. I mean, literally, that's like a perfect Darth Maul. So just be careful that you guys don't get chopped up on this. This is why I don't suggest trading the news. But as you can see right here, the dollar is still being held down by its 50. So if the dollar does break above that, then we may see risky or assets fall a little bit faster and lower, right? So having a look right here, and again, like I said, if you guys do want to check out, all those links are below. You guys know the drill. So let's now get on to the part of the video where I am saying maybe we shouldn't be as concerned as the news is making us feel like we should be, right? I feel like whenever you're seeing FUD come from all different angles, That's when I step back and go, wait a minute. Why is everybody why are they creating this panic right now? There has to be something behind this, right? So look at this. With concerns growing that the crackdown will only intensify and possibly affect Coinbase, which has a similar platform, the company's stock went on a downfall, closing the week with a massive 22% drop. That is pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy for a stock. If you think about it, 22%, that's something you might see in an altcoin. But in a stock, obviously people are scared. And that was just the start. Then the SEC reportedly sent a Wells notice to Paxos suggesting it could take legal action against the issuer of Binance USD because it allegedly sells unregistered securities with the stable coin. So now stable coins are unregistered securities? In an AMA from today, you had CZ from Binance said that the industry will eventually need a more diversified selection of stablecoins, including Singaporean dollar, Japanese yen, etc., addressing reports that Circle had warned the New York Department of Finance about Binance being unable to maintain adequate token reserves. CZ said he did not believe the U.S. firm would do so because it could come back to haunt it as well. And you can see right here, rumors are circulating that the SEC will soon issue an enforcement notice to Circle over the stablecoin USDC. This is actually just a funny comment. Library said, one time we paid $1 for the $1 in stablecoins so that we could spend them as $1 later. But evidently we were expecting profits. Thanks for teaching us so much about our own motivations, SEC. Exactly. If you're holding a stablecoin and it's a stablecoin and it's $1 and it's pegged to $1 and you buy it for $1 and you cash it out for $1, where's the security in that, right? Isn't securities when you believe that something will appreciate due to the work of others in a nutshell? Isn't that the Howey test, right? Basically, kind of, sort of. I don't know, guys. Again, blurry laws out here. But nevertheless, like Will Clemente points out, we have massive drop in USDC. And look at these quick pumps in USDT getting minted and bought, right? So people are jumping ship from BUSD, Paxos, whatever, jumping ship from USDC, going into USDT now, which is funny because remember all the Tether FUD? Well, that kind of brings us to the next part of the story. So like Crypto Professor pointed out, doesn't this seem a little bit similar? Right here, right? We have this massive bear. We come down. We're starting to consolidate. We have that first big pump. Oh, no. The institutions, they missed the boat. And then Bitfinex covered $850 million loss using Tether funds, New York prosecutors allege, right? Well, that was the Tether FUD of 2019. How did that end? It ended in a massive pump of Bitcoin up to about $14,000. Well, let's look at this today. Binance USD depegs from rival stablecoin Tether after New York regulator tells Paxos to stop minting new tokens. Here we are again. Will history repeat? Well, let's keep on diving a little bit deeper. Because if the situation was as bad as it sounded, why have shares in Silvergate Capital jumped after the market maker, and get this, Citadel Securities, reported a 5.5% stake in the crypto-friendly bank? Well, this doesn't make any sense, right? The bank just faced scrutiny over the past few months since the collapse of FTX. There's been all this negative talk about Silvergate. And yet, Ken Griffin's firm now owns over 1.7 million shares in the bank, worth over $25 million based on the price of the close on Monday. So this is interesting. Shares in the bank soared 7% at the open. Fears over regulatory oversight in the U.S. on the banks that interact with crypto have also weighed heavily on the stocks, and SI was the most shorted stock on Wall Street as of January 31st. But yet Citadel Securities has decided to take a 5.5% stake in the bank. Despite all the fear and all the regulation and all the crackdown and everyone saying to stay as far away from these guys as possible, do they know something that we don't? Here's something even crazier. So Hester Pierce has been known to be the crypto mom, right? She's always against Gensler, on the side of us, right? Or is it all just smoke and mirrors? Fun fact, according to Mr. Huber, it was not Gary Gensler and his commissioners who filed the lawsuit against Library.com. He wasn't even in office yet. It was Hester Pierce, Elad Roseman, and Allison Heron-Lee and Caroline Crenshaw. Look at this. Wow, that's interesting. Now, maybe we're jumping the gun here because let's be honest, just because you're part of this doesn't mean you're against it. Who knows? We don't know. Maybe Hester decided, maybe she wasn't the one that originally wanted to file the lawsuit. Maybe when she heard that the lawsuit was going to be filed, she jumped on board. Maybe she's the reason that it was a positive turnout. We don't know. We don't know. Okay? I'm not taking either side here. I'm just saying, here's some information. Take it with a grain of salt and make your own decision with it, right? You know, down here, very important that the SEC corruption is a systemic issue, not just one man. We don't know how everyone is in bed with each other, and we don't know what their overall motivation is. Although if I had to take a guess, I would assume the motivation is money? Possibly? You know, if you think about it, right? The SEC is not really being given tax dollars. They get these allocated sort of lump funds in these grants or whatever you want to call them. But most of their money comes from, you guessed it, penalties, fines, right? So let's keep the area gray. So that way, who's going to argue, right? But like Stuart Alderati points out, you know, be careful because over 40 million Americans own crypto. Most of those are between the ages of 18 and 34 and are demographically and racially diverse. That's a lot of votes. Gary Gensler is a political liability. So just be careful that you don't piss too many people off, right? So we do eventually have elections coming up at some point, and you don't want to, you know, screw that vote up, right? So that is something to pay attention to. But I do want to just say one thing, and maybe this is just my opinion. You know, maybe income tax is trending. We'll have to look into that one. Why is income tax trending? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because it's a scam. Anyway, so speaking of income tax, CZ says, if you're serious about your crypto project, Binance's CEO says you should move. And a lot of people have been moving to Dubai, moving to Paris, moving to Portugal, moving to all these places. But Mike Duda says, oh, I'm very serious about crypto, but not quite serious enough to raise my kids in Dubai. Nothing against Dubai. I've been there. It's, you know, it's a cool place. He says, gonna stay here and fight for crypto in the US, which I believe is still the highest EV use of my time and many others. Now, there are those who choose to resign or renounce their U.S. citizenship, and people who have done that, I have no problem with that. I know people personally who have done that. I am the crazy person that chooses to stay here. I have people every day in crypto that talk to me and go, why are you staying in the U.S.? Why don't you leave? Why don't you renounce your citizenship? Why, you know, do you enjoy paying these taxes? No, I don't, sir, not at all. But you know what? I know that there are so many families in the US. There are so many people. People cannot just up and move. Okay? These, you know, I could technically. I don't have any children. But there's a lot of people that are in crypto that cannot up and move. And I feel that it's my responsibility, other people's responsibility, even a guy like BitBoy, right? You know, people you love him, you hate him. He's trying his best with this bill. I've talked to him. He's trying to get it pushed. They are trying to make it more friendly in the US. And we are having these issues. But what do you do when your back is up against a wall? Seriously. Do you fight for what you believe in, or do you just run? Well, sometimes you have no choice but to run, fight or flight, right? It's animal instinct, but I choose to continue to fight. I continue to fight for you, for everyone in the United States, for everyone in these jurisdictions that are oppressing it. I don't want innovation to leave, and that's what is going to happen. It's what is going to happen, okay? You know, so yeah, for me, I agree with Mike. You know, I'll stick it out, and you know, like the captain of the Titanic that goes down with the ship, I'm here for you guys. I want to see at least, you know, it be done the correct way. And it's a slow process. It's a snail process in the US. But I believe that it can eventually come to a point where we can have that harmony between crypto and, you know, of course, they want to tax it, whatever they want to do. But at the end of the day, I believe that it will become legitimized. I do believe that Bitcoin is the people's money. It is property. It is a commodity. And yeah, that's what I believe. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I should just leave and just go to Dubai tomorrow and never come back. But it's just not in me to do that, guys. It's not in me. I'm here for the fight, right? And, you know, even though this isn't in the US, just side note, institutional crypto trading platform Elwood Technologies expands its offerings. Now, they are London-based, okay? But they're aiming to provide clients with tools that uphold the standards set by traditional asset classes. So, again, Again, guys, if crypto's dead, they're smashing it into the ground, why would you invest in it? It's just something for criminals and all these other people. Why would you see Elwood Technologies expanding their offerings? Why would you see Citadel Securities taking a 5.5% stake in Silvergate Capital after the FTX fallout? Very, very interesting. Like I said, guys, read between the lines. Now, in the meantime, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because we don't want to do these things. We want to comply. Like Kraken said, Kraken was like, just let us know what to do. We want to comply. Okay? Just give us guidelines. But until then, not you, but them, they are forcing us to do these things that we don't want to, or that are less than, I don't know, whatever you want to say. But in a nutshell, guys, yeah, long story short, not telling you guys what to do. I don't know where you're from if you're watching the video. I can't tell you to do anything. Don't use a decentralized exchange, whatever. But Apex Pro, freaking phenomenal interface, guys. If you've used Bybit and you're pissed about the KYC and lack of ability to trade with massive amounts of funds, I highly, highly suggest you check that out. I'm going to leave the link below. I'm probably even going to do a bit of a tutorial on it, maybe just to show you guys kind of how it works. I'm not really even sure if I can do a tutorial on it. I'm not even sure, you know what I mean, for reasons obvious. But it's literally exactly like Bybit. So if you've ever traded on Bybit, if you want to watch my Bybit tutorial, it's basically the same exact thing. Except you just have to connect it to like a MetaMask wallet or something like that. And then there you go. You're trading 100% on a DEX. So check that out. And of course, if you guys do want to check out that ledger promo below, 10% off if you want some turtle doves matching ledgers. I don't know. Check it out for Valentine's Day. Links below in the description. And there's the Bybit tutorial right there. Check it out. Actually, it's one of the most popular ones on the internet. It got 178K views. When I make a tutorial, guys, I put a lot of effort into it. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. Make sure you check out those links below in the description if you're interested. I feel like I had something else to say. Oh, I did. Yes. Be careful of Valentine's Day scams. Very weird. But there's these people that'll message you and they'll I don't know, send you pictures and stuff, and then they'll try to get you to send them money. Just don't. It's all scams. Just everything's a scam. Just be careful. Hold your own keys, not your coins. You know how it goes. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks for coming back. Lots of crazy stuff to go over today. I know today's video was a little bit of a ramble. So yeah, we'll have to see what goes on with price, but I think it's funny how we have confirmation on the death cross. We have CPI coming out lower, and yeah, price is pumping right now. So that's basically it for today, guys. Thanks so much for coming back to the channel. You rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. If you guys do want to learn how to trade, if you are interested in using the Apex stuff below, I don't have an official tutorial on it yet, but it's exactly like Bybit. So if you're interested, just check it out. I'll actually put the Bybit. It'll pop up right here. You guys can click it. You can check it out. And then, if you want to sign up, check it out below. Obviously, it's going to tell you that you're restricted for obvious reasons. You guys, whatever, you know how to take care of that if you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Until next time, that's it, guys. You're awesome. I love you. Stay crypto. And, of course, peace out.